Welcome to the Motocross Supercross podcast. Podcast.
3, 2, 1, 0.
Motocross Supercross podcast.
Episode 217, round 16 of 17 is in the books. MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey, New York City, whatever you want to call it. It was insane. We're going to be breaking down the 250s this episode. I'm Adam here with Claudio. What's up, Claudio?
Insane, he says. What a freaking race.
So much drama, and it was so exciting the whole way through, start to finish. It was just, we had Forkner coming in injured, we got Sexton so close in the points, Justin Cooper right there, Martin Davalos winning the last race in Nashville. There was so much storylines coming into this race, and then it was just insane. So we got to get into this.
Yeah, Christian Craig also, he was going to come back no matter what, though, so don't worry, guys. He was going to come back. That's what Chase Sexton said. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's weird that Christian Craig, he got 10th place in practice in qualifying, but that's the last that we saw him. We didn't see him in the heats at all.
You're absolutely right, man. We have, going into the qualifying times, we have Chase Sexton showing what's up in that JETS gear, Jets, I should say, with a 52.8 over Mitchell Oldenburg, who looked very good throughout this whole night. Austin Forkner also right there with a decent qualifier, I want to say. He got third. That's not bad at all. Jace Owen, who is first race back since a little bit ago. So good to see those guys up there. Yeah,
Jace Owen for sure. Who we said he's coming back from the injury this week. And fourth fastest time, man. He looked really good in practice. He was in the B practice, but just looked really good and made me a little nervous having him on my fantasy team. That's for sure. But it seemed like a pretty good value pick there with the fantasy.
Yeah. Also, Forkner with a third place. He's, as we know, he's got that very bad knee injury, torn ACL. So it's amazing just to get him to see top three. That's good. Someone that's not up there, though, and it's, I don't know if it's a good thing or surprising or anything like that, but Justin Cooper sitting in 7th. Brandon Hartranft at the other local in 5th. Martin Davalos in 6th. Justin Cooper, as I mentioned, in 7th. Joshua Osby in 8th. Alex Martin, who had a decent night as well, in 9th. Christian Craig, as we mentioned, last we saw him, he qualified in 10th.
He actually said on his Instagram that he crashed in practice, and he said he could have lined up, but thought it would be best to be 100% for outdoors. So, that explains that.
I hope he's gonna be 100% for outdoors, because you sat out the whole the whole season. So.
Yeah, and dude, when are we gonna talk about Alex Martin? Because during this qualifying, they did the whole special on him, where how he's got the nickname like Troll Train. So they went to the Trolls exhibit and for kids in New York City, and this was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. I thought I was in a dream or something. It was weird. It was super weird. They painted his face, and it turned him into a troll, and it was just, come on, Alex Martin, bro, have some respect for yourself, man.
Yeah, not a good look. I didn't like it. It was kind of creepy. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, well, I think if you are going to do it, at least, get, black and yellow, team colors, maybe your number or something on your face, instead of the whole, little girl kind of face paint, Halloween makeup or whatever it is. But
yeah, that's a good point.
His wasn't even, the worst part. They had the Feld, what'd they say? That was the PR person for Feld?
Yeah, one of the
he
PR
was
guys
all dressed
Feld,
up, smiling and stuff for his picture. It was, super creepy. Who was in charge of this? We got a professional racer in the most badass sport there is, and he's dressed up like a troll, posing with kids and stuff. What is happening?
Well, your PR guy is also posing as
that's the problem.
Troll, so.
Yeah, he's got to go. I don't know who that guy is, but he's got to go.
that's part of your answer right there. He definitely approved of this happening since he's the Feld's PR guy. So.
That picture of him made it look like he set the whole thing up just so he could experience it,
It was for him the whole time.
He was loving it way too much. He was definitely enjoying it. But all right, we're talking way too long about this. But
right.
let's just jump into some heats.
Heat number 1, dude. Like you mentioned, no Christian Craig, which is, it's a shame. But we do have Oldenburg, who qualified second spot, and he will take the whole shot after a great jump. Martin Davalos will follow and quickly takes the lead from him, that's for sure. Jace Owen, who had a pretty good start, he was sitting in the third spot, battling with Mitchell Falk for a little bit, who will go down in the whoops. And that was, the theme of the night, to go out on the whoops, that's for sure.
Yeah, Jace Owen, man, he looked really good on the start of that race. Like, he really hugged the inside, and he was right there up front. And we're just like, all right, it's not a fluke. He was the 4th fastest time. Here he is, like, he's dominating. And then, he definitely went down pretty hard in those whoops.
Yeah, that will make him go to the LCQ. His bike was definitely messed up. It was like bent and all types of things, but...
It's so funny. And then they were like cutting to the replay. They're like, all right, here's the replay of this. And then it's Osby going through the whoops backwards. It's just like, that was such a sketchy moment. Like, he was obviously got off the track somewhere and he went down that whole whoop section backwards. And then he went and turned around in the corner. I was like, respect for that. It was pretty brave.
He don't want no points taken away from him, He found himself very lucky to not get hit going backwards on the track, because we just started the race, so all those guys were coming. Exactly,
and it didn't even affect Osby that much either. I think he was still in like 8th or something after that, and then he was even able to pass Freddie Noren for 7th and started working his way up a little bit.
Yeah, but he looked all right.
We saw Martin though; he was out front leading this race, and then he missed one of the turns, and just like it was so random. He just like gave that lead to Oldenburg. He just blew right through the turn.
What's up with that? They stole the bike, or because at first I thought he missed the turn because of the shadows, which were horrible, by the way.
Yeah, the shadows were really, really bad.
And it looked like he missed the turn, but then it just looks like he just kind of stole the bike. So what was it?
Yeah, well, it looked like he had his back end locked up whenever he was rolling down that straightaway, and it looked like he might have got a little off balance, and whenever he unreleased his brakes, it just kind of pitched him right off the track. I don't know. It was really weird. I can't believe it was just like the stupidest mistake. I can't believe he did that.
Yeah, and well, he gave the lead to Mitchell Oldenburg, as you mentioned. Somebody else that we saw kind of having a good race was Jordan Bailey, who he actually caught up all the way to Mitchell Falk, who was sitting in 3rd at this point, and he will take the spot from him after a pretty decent start. I feel like ever since Daytona, he's kind of like sparked up.
Yeah, Jordan Bailey looked really good out there. Like you said, he passed his way up to 3rd, looking strong at the end of this year after not doing too much at the beginning of the season. So good for him.
Yeah.
And also, like in that, we had Dustin Winter, my drinking buddy from Nashville, who I saw in the bar. He was in that final transfer spot, and he kind of threw it away. I'm not exactly sure what happened to him, but he dropped all the way to 13th, and that allowed Justin Thompson, the rider from Johannesburg, South Africa, to get that final transfer spot.
Oh, yeah, nice.
So Mitchell Oldenburg won this race. Martin Davalos got 2nd. Jordan Bailey, as we said, got 3rd. Mitchell Falk got 4th. Josh Osby was able to work his way up to 5th. After going the wrong way in the whoops. Kate Ottenreith got 6th. Freddie Noren got 7th. Jimmy Weeks got 8th. Justin Thompson, as we said, 9th place, going straight to the main event.
Nice. I have one thing. What's up with Ralph Shaheem comment about Jordan Bailey? Did you hear that about
the video games?
Yeah, like he plays Fortnite, and I guess he was like he's getting more top 5s playing Fortnite than in Supercross.
Oh, is that what he said?
Yeah, he literally said that, and I was like, wow, how do you take that? Like, how do you even take that?
Yeah, I don't know what it is with the Feld people, or I don't know who's in charge of it, but we have this most badass sport ever, and all we can talk about is, trolls and, video games and Fortnite somehow. How does that happen?
Oh, well. And the seat number 2, we have the top 3 guys right here, which is Faulkner, Sexton, and Justin Cooper, the kid.
We got a super stacked heat. Like you said, Faulkner, Sexton, the 2 points people battling it out. Justin Cooper, Lorenzo, Ramy, everyone's in this race. This was definitely the one to watch.
Yeah, well, this is the only thing we want to watch here is Austin Faulkner going to be able to hold on. As Ricky said, yeah, I don't know if you saw the explanation of how the torn ACL works, but definitely understood. Thanks to Ricky.
Ricky just talked about it the whole time. He was the expert, I guess you could say.
He did it twice.
He didn't talk about anything else the whole day. He's just the tip, holding it. Every time he impacts the jump, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, he did it twice. He did it in the qualifying, in the broadcast, and the goal pass, and then he did it in the broadcast. And I was like, come on, man. Like, they just kind of like fancied it up to change it a little bit from earlier, but it was like the same thing. I was like, what the hell, man? Forkner will get the whole shot on this one, but I feel like it was actually Kyle Peters, according to where the camera is angled. You know, that like point of view camera right next on the line right there?
Yeah, definitely.
I thought it was Kyle Peters, but they gave it to Forkner. It doesn't matter though, because Kyle Peters will jump right up front, and Forkner will come out in second, and then Lorenzo Licurcio, as you mentioned, will be sitting in third. A friend of the show, yeah.
Yeah, so a really great start for him, looking awesome, except Austin Forkner, he ended up messing up like one of that first rhythm sections, and Alex Martin was right behind him and was able to make the pass on him, and then Forkner just started fading. We saw Sexton catch up and make the pass on him, and then Forkner, he's like running fifth. That's all the booth could talk about. Ricky has to point out, every 5 seconds about every time he lands so hard, he's just tearing his knee up,
dude,
blah-da-dee-da. And it's funny because after he said that, it looked like he was landing really hard on like every single jump.
Dude, he was casing every jump possible out there. I was like,
everything.
Wouldn't you want to not do that when you have a torn ACL? And yeah, everybody took advantage of a wounded Austin Forkner and took a couple of spots from him. And another thing, like you mentioned, the booth cannot just stay away from Austin Forkner. Like, that's all they showed. Like, we had a great battle between Kyle Peters and Chase Sexton for the lead, and all they could talk about was Austin Forkner and his knee. And I mean, they did kind of, they came back to the battle up front right on time, because Kyle Peters actually falls down and will let Chase Sexton go and take the first spot. Yep.
Kyle Peters couldn't have made that any more easy for Chase Sexton. Just literally just said, here you go, take over first. Problems didn't end for Forkner, though, because Justin Cooper also got past him. And then Austin Forkner actually turned things around at the end of this race and started passing all these people back. So he was like running, he was all the way back to seventh, and he was probably getting a little nervous back there, wondering if he's going to even make it straight to the main event. But he turned it up. He made a pass on Peters right before the whoops. Then he passed Chase Marquier in fifth.
Yeah, he was sitting in fifth at that point, and he was feeling a little pressure from those guys. Like Hard Triath was right there too. He was getting pressure by those guys.
Yep. And then he even got Justin Cooper back for fourth there at the end of the race. So he was able to survive this heat. Some bad luck, though, for Ramy Alves, who they didn't show his crash, but we saw him down with the medical unit right there in one of the turns. It looked like at the end of one of the rhythm sections.
Yeah.
So I don't think we have an update on him yet, but hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, he looked like he was sitting up, which is a really good thing. So, and also it kind of sucks because he was battling out for like 10th. He was like in 10th, 11th place before he went down. So kind of sucks for him.
Yeah, Andy showed all that serious speed over in Nashville, so it was like his opportunity to do it again. So just some bad luck for him, but good for Lorenzo, who ended up finishing third place in this heat race. So Chase Sexton won, Alex Martin got second, Lorenzo Licurcio got third, Austin Forkner all the way back up to fourth, Justin Cooper fifth, Brandon Hartranft sixth, Kyle Peters seventh, Kyle Cunningham eighth, and A-Rod, Anthony Rodriguez, gets that final transfer position straight to the main.
Yeah, that's really good for the sandbox training facility, as the top three guys in this heat are actually, they train there. Chase Sexton, Alex Martin, Lorenzo Licurcio, they all train together. And, they're doing something right over there, because these guys look really, really fast.
Indeed they did. Well, let's jump into this 250 LCQ, because the drama didn't end there. It kept going into this LCQ.
Oh, yeah.
And it started with Stephen Clark just getting a hole shot. John Short behind him, TJ Albright, Jeremy Hand, they're all up there. But Stephen Clark just started dominating this race right from the very start.
Yeah, as the pack started to disperse, number 116 of TJ Albright, who was sitting in third, will go down it kind of sucks for him. And then after that, it was like Chase Marquier who kind of, slammed him pretty much and put him in a bad spot.
Yeah, TJ Albright didn't just fall on his own. Chase Marquier came and gave him a little bit of help and really just slammed him right there in the corner. And actually, there's like another pile up there because we saw Winter go down right there in that same section.
Yeah, he will get hit in the air by Isaac Teasdale, who was trying to make the pass from in the inside, and Winter kind of went in and closed them in. And they both, they hit in the air and they both crashed in that turn.
And that allowed Josh Cartwright to catch up there into fourth place, too. So whenever they were running, it was Clark, Short, Marquier, and Cartwright. Mm-hmm. And then we also saw Jeremy Hand get into the mix, and he passes Cartwright for fourth. And then our fourth fastest qualifier, Jace Owen, who crashed in the whoops in his heat race, he was behind Cartwright in sixth. And I said I had him on my fantasy team, so I'm really pulling for him hard. He does get by Cartwright for fifth. And then Jeremy Hand and Chase Marquier, they start having their own battle on the last lap. And it allowed,
got super intense.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. But both of them were already in qualifying positions. But that little battle allowed Jace Owen to catch up to them. And it looked like he wasn't going to be able to qualify. It was really sketchy. And on that last lap, the race leader, Steven Clark, Scuba Steve, is leading, throws it all away when he cases that one triple and just crashes. He's not able to get up in time. They all go by. And Jace Owen, my fantasy team pick, and probably a lot of people's, he gets into the main.
I know, dude. That's so incredible. He looked like he was going to catch up regardless. But yeah, bad luck for Steven Clark, who kind of put himself out. He led the whole thing right until literally 2-3 turns to go, and we'll throw it all away.
Exactly. So it was crazy. John Short won this race. Jeremy Hand got second. Chase Marquier got third. Jace Owen going to the main event.
Yeah, they mentioned this kid called Cody Shock, number 319. I guess he was making his debut on first professional race. He just became, I guess last week he became a professional. He got his license with
the Supercross Futures program. Yeah,
through the Futures program, exactly. And that's awesome, I guess. Good for him. He qualified 40th, which is not the best, but if it's your first race, you're qualifying, that's amazing. It's good for you. He ran into a little bit of bad luck when he ran into someone, though, and they both went down.
Yeah, he totally landed on a guy. That's not a good way to make your debut, being the sketchy guy out there landing on people.
Well, yeah.
His front tire came down right on the back of right on top of someone's seat. Could have been a lot worse, I guess. But yeah, congrats to making it as a pro, and tighten up, Squid.
Let's move to this main event because this is what we want. We got one more race after this one, which is Vegas. We have Chase Sexton 3 points behind Austin Faulkner, a dominating Austin Faulkner, and a wounded one for this race. Let's get to it. It's going to be Alex Martin, the troll, with the whole shot on this main event. He was going to be followed by Martin Davalos, Chase Sexton, who got blocked out by Austin Faulkner. And I guess that was the plan from the beginning, to try and take Sexton down.
That's a good plan. He definitely slammed him there on the start, and then he slammed it again here in a little bit, which we'll talk.
He slammed him a couple of times, and not a good look. But I guess he wants to win this championship, and I guess if that's what you got to do, I mentioned it before. If you can't win the race, you got to take down the one that can, and try to do it that way. And that's exactly what Faulkner was trying to do. After he came out, and after he slammed him a couple of times, he was in fourth place. The Yamaha guys were sitting right behind him in fifth and sixth, which is Mitchell Oldenburg and Justin Cooper.
That's right. And Alex Martin, who was out front, he ends up falling down, and then he falls all the way to 10th place, which is just insane because this was your chance, man.
I know, again.
Yep, so after being out front, he falls way down, and then that puts Davalos out front with Faulkner right behind him. Yep. And it is just set up so perfect for Austin Faulkner, having his teammate there to block with him, and then, just kind of shield everyone off.
Okay, so this is one of the things Ricky and Ralph were saying, how Davalos should let Faulkner go by him. Does he
Yeah,
have to do that? What do you think?
There was a lot of talk about team tactics in this race because also later on in the race, we had like Cooper and Oldenburg kind of talk and stuff. But I think that if you're Martin Davalos and you just won the last race, obviously you want to win again. And I think you win that race as long as you can until, the last lap, whenever you quote unquote fall or something.
In New York, yeah. We've seen that before. But yeah, the only reason I'm asking, it's irrelevant because Faulkner, after trying for a bit, he will call it a night.
Yeah, I'm not really sure where his problem started. It looked like he might have dabbed his foot in the turn, or if he just overjumped that one. That they had that one jump that was supposed to go over the starting line we were so looking forward to. And then I think they said because of the wind or something, they ended up cutting the face way down. So it was just like a single.
Yeah.
But everyone was landing right into that face of that second single. And it looked like kind of how he landed and maybe tweaked his knee. So I don't know if it was the dab in his foot or doing that, but it was one of those and it just destroyed his knee. He hit the next triple, but he was done after that. He just pulled off and that was it.
Yeah, he picked up his mechanic and they headed to the rig. And I feel like he was actually hurt way before this race even started. I mentioned it to you when we did our preview to this race that Faulkner was not in any type of capability to race and to even, hold on for the 15, I guess 17 minutes if you want to, the 15 minutes plus the lap, I guess, if you want to get technical or whatever, however you want to look at it. I told you that he was not going to be able to do it, and that's exactly what happened. I feel like that's why he went out swinging and trying to take out Sexton early because of that reason. He knew he was not going to be able to do it, and he was just, trying to at least mess up and give himself an opportunity to not let him go so far, I guess, Yeah,
it's just crazy, though, because you think, like, you would do anything you can. He looked good out there. He did. He looked really good, but it had to have been really, really, really bad for him to pull off like that, being ahead of Sexton at the time.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. Austin Faulkner out of this one, but Martin Davalos will stay in the lead, and it's wide open for Chase Sexton to try and one more time to get that win. And, well, hate to tell you, but that will be the points lead and the red plate, as I mentioned in the last podcast. This is like a live version of the tortoise and the hare.
Exactly. He just played that super consistent race all season. Had a great season. Waited for Faulkner to make a mistake. That's all he had to do. Sucks for Faulkner throwing it away like that. Hopefully he's okay and he'll be able to come back soon. But just a crazy ending to the season, bro. Yeah. And it's not even over yet.
A dominating season too, that's like the sad part about all this. It's a dominating season, and he can't do anything about it.
Exactly. And it's not even over yet because Chase Sexton and Justin Cooper are both still in it. And that's how they're running. It's Davalos, Sexton, and Cooper behind him. And we still got 12 minutes of this race to go. So we still know anything can happen again. But like you said, Sexton made the pass on Davalos after the whoops. And then Alex Martin started making some moves, trying to get back up. And Justin Cooper also gets by Davalos in that same exact spot Chase Sexton did right there after the whoops. And then Mitchell Oldenburg gets Davalos and his teammate Justin Cooper. And that's where the debate of the team tactics thing came up again. It's like, oh, Cooper's still in it for the championship. Oldenburg is in. And then Daniel Blair's like, oh, well, after Oldenburg had his kid and stuff, like, Cooper passed him on the finish line, so it didn't matter. But I was thinking, like, obviously these guys are going to try and win. It's just funny how people rag on the team tactics, and then for this instance, they're like, where's the team tactics at? Why isn't it happening? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was going to ask you. Again, should Oldenburg let Justin Cooper by, since, kind of the same situation with Davalos and Faulkner. Mitchell Oldenburg obviously was way faster than Justin Cooper, and I feel like if he would have let him by, he would just slow down so much, because Justin Cooper, he even said it, he was not having a great night, and he ran into some problems. He was not feeling well, and it kind of sucks because that was his home race.
Exactly. So he definitely did worse than we thought he was going to do, but Oldenburg he looked really good these past couple races.
Definitely. Davalos almost loops out again, though, when he runs into a lapper, but he recoups and put a little bit of pressure on Justin Cooper and trying to get a third spot and an opportunity to get on the steps.
Yeah, he slammed Jeremy Hand so hard, who was getting lapped. He slammed him so hard.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like the last exciting thing that happened in this race.
Yeah, Brandon Hartraff, the other local boy, sitting in 5th, looking for his second top 5 of the season. But yeah, it was going to be Chase Sexton who will take his first career win, and he will do it in New York wearing a Jets jersey.
Yes, and that is in itself kind of funny because I texted you. I was like something about, oh, this is the best anyone wearing a Jets uniform has done in the stadium or something. And you're like, make a meme about it. And I was like, no. I was like, you do it. And then I think it looks like instead you just tweeted it out. That same thing.
I tweeted it out at the MXSX podcast tweet, and looks like Jason Wagon beat us by a second.
I didn't even know that until like days later. I'm looking at my Twitter, which I never check, and it was like, oh, Wygant said, this is the best performance someone in a Jets uniform has done in a while or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, I screen capped and I sent it to you, and I was like, oh crap, like we were thinking the same thing.
Yeah, you didn't even know I tweeted it though.
I didn't even know you tweeted it, and then you sent it, and then the times were so funny because he got his up 1 minute before you posted ours.
Yeah.
So it probably looks like it definitely looks like we just stole his tweet.
Yeah, but we didn't. We really didn't. But I love the fact that Chase Sexton called out Faulkner for wanting to take him out at the beginning of the race. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, Chase Sexton, he was pretty cool about it. He said he didn't like winning that way and stuff, but he was pumped. He about blew his bike up right there after the race.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely putting a new motor in that thing. But that was going to be the race. Chase Sexton will take the win on this one. Mitchell Oldenburg will take second spot. Justin Cooper will not let Martin Davalos pass him for third. Martin Davalos in 4th, Brandon Hartraff in 5th, Kyle Peters in 6th, Alex Martin 7th, Jordan Bailey in 8th, Lorenzo Lacurcio in 9th, Anthony Rodriguez in 10th, Joshua Osby in 11th, Kyle Cunningham in 12th, Frederick Noren in 13th, Kate Honorith in 14th, Mitchell Folk, after a decent couple of laps, I guess, will be sitting in 15th, John Shore in 16th, Justin Thompson in 17th, Jeremy Hand 18th, Chase Marquardt 19th, Jimmy Weeks 20th, Jace Owen 21st, and then Austin Faulkner, I guess, DNF with a 22nd spot.
Yeah, terrible luck for Austin Faulkner. Good race for Lorenzo, getting in the top 10, 9th place. Great race for Chase Sexton, winning his first one and taking over the championship lead, going into Vegas with a red plate. Great race for Oldenburg, getting second place on the podium. Justin Cooper somehow managed to get third. So we definitely, looking at the points now, we got a battle now between Sexton and Cooper. So that's not over yet either. That's going to fade into this Vegas race. 174 points for Chase Sexton, and then 9 points behind him, Justin Cooper, 165.
Yeah, 9 points going into a showdown that's going to be hot. You know, we're going to have Adam Cincerulo. We're going to have Dylan Ferrandis back, and it's going to be good. And let's see if Cincerulo can do it again and keep winning in Vegas, which is kind of like his favorite thing to do. Or, let's see if Justin Cooper will bounce back and take the win.
Yeah, and even Martin Davalos, he is sitting 18 points behind Austin Faulkner. So if he does better than, fifth, or if he does better than 5th place at the showdown, he could take over 3rd place in this championship.
Wouldn't that be badass? Yeah,
it would be really cool for him. So Vegas, 1 race left. We're going to be previewing this after we recap the 450s. But is there anything else we should add to this recap episode?
No, go check out our Twitter and retweet it. Let's make it famous. MXSX Podcast, send us a tweet. Peace!
Peace!